If you're planning retirement as a couple, there's one uncomfortable reality that most people don't talk about. Now, you can do all the maths. You can calculate the number, stress test the plan, check the drawdown rates, and make sure the bills are covered. But even if the numbers work, there's something else that has to line up first. You both have to feel ready. And that turns out to be a very different problem. Because retirement isn't just about whether the numbers work, it's about whether you both feel ready at the same time. And that's where things get complicated. Because financially, I can see a path. Not reckless, not fantasy, and not lottery thinking, but a sensible path. But the part we rarely talk about openly is, even if you feel ready, if your partner doesn't, then you're not actually ready. And that's where the difficult questions start appearing. Am I being impatient, or are they being overly cautious? If I'm honest, sometimes it feels like I'm waiting. Not dramatically, not angrily, just quietly waiting for the moment when we both feel safe enough to say, right, let's do it, let's go. Now, I completely understand my wife's position. She's naturally more cautious than I am. She wants a bigger buffer, more certainty, more protection against the things that could go wrong. And I respect that. But at the same time, there's another truth sitting quietly in the background. Time is moving, and you can't buy that back. And here's the part I don't particularly enjoy admitting. Sometimes when we talk about spending more, upgrading things in the house, for example, or committing to longer term plans, a small part of me wonders, is this caution, or are we quietly making it harder to leave? Now, I'm not saying that's deliberate. It probably isn't. But that's how it can feel sometimes. And if you're not careful, that's where resentment can slowly start growing. Because from my perspective, I'm chasing freedom. From my wife's perspective, she's protecting stability. She wants to remove risk. I want to remove the stress. And both those instincts are valid, but they pull in very different directions. And retirement isn't a solo decision when you're married. It's a shared leap. And if one person feels pushed into that leap, it stops feeling like freedom and starts feeling more like danger. Which is why the psychology of retirement is actually harder than the maths. The spreadsheets, they're easy. Alignment is harder. Because retirement isn't just about affordability. It's about identity. For some people, work is stress. For others, it's structure. For some people, leaving feels like freedom, where for others, it feels like stepping into uncertainty. And those feelings don't always arrive at the same time. So where does that leave me? Somewhere in the middle. I'm not resentful. I'm not reckless, but I am aware that retirement planning isn't really about spreadsheets. It's about whether two people feel safe enough to change their lives at the same time. So if you're watching this and you're quietly feeling ready, but you're waiting for your partner to catch up, you're not alone. And if you're the cautious one, you're not wrong either. The key isn't forcing the decision. It's understanding what each of you is protecting. Because retirement only really works when both people feel safe enough to take the leap together. And maybe that's the part of retirement planning we should talk about more often. If these kinds of conversations about midlife, retirement decisions and trying to regain control resonate with you, you might find the rest of the channel useful.